Good morning. Oh, that's a little rough for the morning. Let me try this one. My watch band, my new watch band, is so much more comfortable than the original was. Amazing. Super cheap too. Absolutely loving it. My wife and I disagree on the color. I say it's apricot. She says it's pink. I think she's just trying to upset me. That's okay. We got that. Let's see. Now today we're gonna undo some stuff I was doing last night. Get status. Yeah, okay, that can all go. Oh, restore. Hey, morning. Cat peasant. Good morning. Uh, good morning. How's it going? And thank you for the laugh. That's a great alias. I like it. Oh, that's funny, Nomad. That's funny. I'm all right. I slept through my alarm today. Funny because I was not up late last night. I think I got a ton of sleep. Good because I was probably fighting something off. Stress, most likely. Just stress. Um, I was thinking about this stuff in here. You know what? What could I do to? Oh, mosquitoes. Oh, is it that time of year again? Actually, this is my favorite time of year where it's like warm enough that you can sit outside during the day. We don't have any bugs right now because, well, they were all frozen. Soon, though, soon we'll have our mosquitoes. Oh, of course, you're in the south, the southern hemisphere. Yeah, the little bzzz that the mosquitoes make that drives me nuts at night. Thought of having one of those little mosquito things in the house. One of these things here. Let's see if we can find the small one. Like here's the big one. That's a big one. I've thought of having like the itty bitty one in the house. Not like the bug zapper, but this thing it just lures them in with a light, and then it's got a fan, keeps them in the little basket till they dehydrate. So you basically have dehydrated mosquitoes in the end. We could like dip them in chocolate and stuff. Kind of revenge. What I thought would be kind of fun to do today. Where's Sim? Oh, there's Sim. Yeah, okay, there are no errors. Good. There's certain things in here that I think can be done in parallel very, very easily because of the way that the attack is set up. The attack energy for the ships is actually done. It doesn't have to know about the ship kind. Oh, excuse me, it does have to know. I think I can subdivide this attack. If we look at this, asking some references, we only have, we have shot energy. I think if I had 2 of those, I could like split the work in half and just add this up at the end. And the reason the shot energy is being passed in, why is it being passed in? It doesn't need to be passed in. Oh, with the stats though, that needs to be. I'll have to aggregate the stats as well. Well, let me show you where I ended up. Run command. Almost there. There we go. So this is 20 million chips versus 10 million chips over 10 rounds. Oh, there it goes. The spawn doesn't take nearly as long. Hacking's actually pretty quick now. So that's, it went through 1 round already. I have some stats at the end I wanted to show. Is this with the SIMD? It's not actually. The SIMD, my SIMD was slower than just Rust code, just the regular Rust code. It timed it against the simple algorithm, and the simple algorithm beat out my SIMD code. Oh, no, that's not entirely true. Let me find it. In build attack, I still use one little thing of SIMD. Prefetch. So as we come through the loop, we prefetch the line for where we're going to be storing the result. Then we do the calculation and store the result. By doing that, we are able to make sure that everything's in cache that needs to be in cache by the time we write to it. And this saved, oh goodness, actually I can show you. So here, if we just run that, I think that time here, 45 seconds actually includes the compile time. Oh. What did I do? Oh, I deleted a comment. Uh-oh. Fuzzy Britches over there, she wants to go outside. Oh, but she can't. It's goat milking time. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll run it through one more time without the compile time on. Sorry, I got distracted. I was going to cancel that and run it again. Yeah. I think it's only going to take some 30 seconds or so. And this is with the prefetch. Oh, 26 seconds. Okay, so 26 seconds with the prefetch. And then if we disable the prefetch, or we'll build it and then run it. Oh, your friend's dogs are going mental. 26 seconds. Yeah, some places are being very, I guess, militant about the lockdown. All right. Now we'll run that again without the SIMD prefetch. And we should run it twice because the second time's always faster for whatever reason. The machine's like, okay, fine, I'm in fast mode. Speed step off. Goats are coming up. So 35 there. And that's without the prefetch. So the prefetch itself, being able to tell the CPU that, hey, just a little bit, you're going to need this line, and have it fetch it from wherever. Right? Maybe it's from the actual RAM as opposed to CPU cache. Loads it into CPU cache much earlier, which is nice. What was that? That was 36. So we had 10-second different. Yeah, so 10 seconds. This prefetch. Oh, but the stats. We're going to see the stats. So, the offense, through its first element, how many elements of ship kind 3, which I think are the fighters, were destroyed during the first round? Well, 866,000 ships. Full damage, that includes the destroyed ones. Oh, shields used also includes the entirely destroyed. Energy waste. This is how much energy was wasted because you had this fleet there. This is the amount of energy that was more than the needed energy to destroy the ship. And then for this kind of ship, targeting ship 3, so targeting other fighters, how much energy it dumped out was some 967 million units of energy. How many shots it took, which you'll see is just a interesting. I wonder if we even need to calculate the energy then, because this is always going to be a fact, like just a multiple, just multiplied by the amount of energy in the config. Oh yeah, we don't need to track energy there, just shots. Huh, got a browser decode error. That's too bad. Fix that real quick so I can make sure that. Hey, morning. How's it going? You don't see a reason to track energy? Yeah, because it seems like the number of shots fired would be enough. Because that combined with the ship config will tell you how much energy that you expelled, expended, used. And then for refueling, this kind of ship used this much shield and this much energy fuel when it was resupplying, excuse me. Because ship kind 0, go down here, this is how much resupply fuel it has left, I think. Yeah. So some of its resupply fuel was actually used up when supplying the fuel for the other elements. Yeah, let's take the energy off there and just do the shots. I think that makes sense. Stats. Oh, no, I wanted the shots, not the energy. Got that backwards. There might be something else that we add in here later. And morning, Skraling. Hi, good morning, Emil Gardis. Let's see, anything else not quite makes sense in here? Shields used, this is basically how much damage this this set of shields absorbed before the hull got hit. And these are the tanker ships, so they don't have much to begin with. And in the back of the fleet, they just absorb some. Here, these number 2s, I think these are the cruisers. Way to go. Good morning. Shields used, hull damage, energy waste. So this number, the energy waste, is actually a really good thing. If you're sending a battle out there and you have a bunch of ships that you want to just be there to take on the energy load that your opponent's going to dump out at you, it's good to have those ships out there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. There we go. I'll say no more SIMD. I won't say anything about SIMD. Okay. So that'll be gone. Refuel supply, fuel energy. Okay. Interesting that nothing ended up using its own fuel. I wonder why that is. That seems like a bug that I have. Well, unless it just never ran out of resupply fuel. Let's try this again without the resupply fuel lines. So here, transports have supply fuel. They've got like their own fuel, they've got attack, they've got energy, so they can do 4 shots with like hardly any power. Mostly there for like shooting, space rabbits or something. And they have hull and shields. Let's make it so that their resupply fuel is tiny. Got like 30 fuel. I put the prefetch back in, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. That actually saves time, this prefetch here. Like 10 seconds. So how's your weekend going? I gotta build a website for a neighbor this weekend. Go to the top of this. Okay. Ship kind 3, that's our fighters. Shots it took against the other types of things, which you could tell energy from that. Supply fuel. 0. Okay. Still a 0. I've got a bug. Actually, there's still supply fuel there. Why is there supply fuel? How many of these ship kinds do they have? Yes. Oh, that's why they have 300,000 of these. Oh my. Let's say they have 3. Each get 3. Not much supply fuel, I admit. It's not much at all. Fuel is still 0. Okay, there's definitely a bug in that. Gotta refuel. This is where we count how much supply fuel we need, how much fuel we need. Let's see, there's no fuel needed because we're not taking fuel out of there then? Oh, this is all about fuel. Let's see. Give out the fuel that we have available. I know that we collect the fuel that we have here. Wait, no, not there. Oh, here. Fuel given. So when we start to dish out the fuel, we include the fuel that the ship already has. So let's say everybody's getting 50% of their need, right? Add that 50% of whatever this thing's need is, which is going to be the fuel given. So the fuel given here is calculated based on the refuel percent. Because we refuel the whole armada just based on how much fuel we have and what the need is. So the fuel given, we take the fuel out of your tank. Say this is part of what you're going to be resupplying your shields with. Shields here, fuel given. Oh, look at this. Okay, then we subtract the amount that your shields need from the fuel given. We subtract your energy needs from the fuel given, and then your tank gets the remainder. That seems reasonable. That does seem reasonable. Does that mean that how we calculate the fuel need is incorrect? Needed fuel going to be ship config to fuel minus this ship's fuel. So this is its config value, like how big its tank is, minus how much fuel it has. So we're calculating the difference there. We know what its need is there. I don't see anything wrong with this. Let's make the battle a little bit more even on the sides, because maybe somebody's just getting obliterated too fast. Yep. 100, is that the same? 10 million? 10 million. That's 10 million. Okay. Oh wow. Only one round of nothing. Let's go to the top. Okay, first round, lots of ships destroyed. But this kind, ship 1, are these the capital ships? I think so. Carriers here. 2. Oh wow, we had 0 fuel ships destroyed. It took some hull damage though. Okay, more fighters destroyed. Shields used, energy waste, etc. Still no fuel in the resupply. Capital ships just taking up the attacks and their energy and their shields. Same with these guys. And they've got 90,000. Excuse me. I thought they had 3. How do they have 90,000 resupply fuel? Because of me. Yes. 0. Nobody gets extra fuel. Alright, that was my fault. Oh, look at this. A little gift. Alright. Battle test main. Go full on the back trace. I would really like to see location. It's interesting that it's like that the defense is attacking. This line is where it's at. Alright, let's do it in debug mode. I also started using FNV because my hash maps aren't very big. This also gives me a speed up. And if you're not familiar with FNV, it looks just like the regular hash map. It's just a hash map with a different hashing algorithm that's optimized for small amounts of keys. Oh, interesting. I wonder how long this is going to take. It is really much faster in release mode, even though the compiler takes a lot longer to compile. It's probably worth making the numbers smaller. Yeah, FNV is cool. Here, we're gonna restart that. We gotta look at FNV. Oh, is that black screen? I can't remember if I set up Firefox. What is this? Fowler Nolvo hash function. Yep. The Rust compiler itself uses FNV as it's not worried about the denial of service attacks and can assume that its inputs are going to be small. Which is perfect for me because I use it for indexing ship kind for the fleet, and really that's perfect because we don't have hundreds. I mean, I have 4 ship kinds. Got some graphs and pretty stuff in here. Throughput, higher is better. The blue one up here is FNV. Back to the code. I'm a little disappointed. It didn't blow up. Look at that. 26 seconds, and I reduced the ship count by an order of magnitude. Release code is that much faster. Yeah, anywhere below 20 bytes looks good. This isn't fair. I need larger numbers to get this bug. Not do order of magnitude. Just double it. So we could always get our GDB. It's not too bad. So for my stats, FNV hash map and the ship kind is a U8. Definitely well within the 20 bytes there. We got that bug multiple times in a row. It seemed very reproducible. Now we're not getting it at all. Let's see. We'll do this, then go back to the release mode. Maybe I'll just leave the ship count low instead. Just keep running it in debug mode. Just let this one run. So I think it's at the very end of this where it starts to print out stats. That's where it has its issues. Still no needed ship fuel. Well, luckily the numbers are going to be smaller at this point, so it should go faster. Let's go back down to some much smaller numbers. They're much smaller numbers. I feel committed to this run. Go ships, that's going quicker. Oh, the fuel need. Ship fuel need still 0. Possible. And nothing. Fuel still 0, 0, 0. It's basically the refueling has to come from somewhere. So they're getting magical fuel somehow. Let's look. We have a refuel. Fuel available. Total needed ship fuel, shield, and energy fuel. Look at the kind of the ship. Config refuel stats. Sure. That's just preloading that so we can modify it. If this ship kind has supply fuel to something. And this is why we're getting not a number in the stats above. Because there is no fuel. We're dividing by 0, not a number. Yes, we do track how much fuel is spent during the phases because that is essentially a fuel is 1 point of shield and 1 point of energy. So if shield used or hull damage, that's actually points of, that's going to be fuel used. Especially if you get past the first round. Ships coming into the battle with their weapons already charged, their shields already charged. So they don't spend any fuel the first round. But then they'll use the fuel out of their own tank the end of that round, replenishing their fuel and their weapons. So just the fact that they are taking shield damage and they use up all of their weapons every round, that fuel should go down. I feel like I'm doing something silly in here though, like it's going to be some, oh, you forgot to, it should be addition instead of subtraction or something. Is this fuel given? Where is it getting this fuel? Total fuel given. Interesting. What is NAN? I think it's the refuel percent. So if we divide fuel available, should be 0. By the fuel need, I guess that's not really 0. Fuel available should be 0. Let's print that out. Oh, it already is printed out. Okay. Up here. Let's go back up. Fuel available, 0. Needed ship shield fuel. Fuel need, yes. Distribution percent. Total fuel given is fine. Distribution percent, set NAN. Oh, total fuel given divided by the total fuel available, which is 0. Total fuel available. I keep getting the browser encountered an error while decoding. Is everybody else getting that too? I don't think I'm dropping packets. Okay, I've dropped 8 packets. Refresh that. I'll load up my other chat real quick. My phone. Just so that I can see chat better. Especially when I refresh. There we go. Much better. Okay. At this point, we get the fuel need of the ship. Line 154. So we have the ship need times the refuel percent. Going to be fuel given. Okay, it's not going to be given any fuel. This should actually be 0 in all of these cases. A 0 times something is going to be 0. We have total fuel given. That's just for stats. Then here we have fuel given Times equal ship fuel dot fuel. This should be how much fuel it currently has. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Need a mutable borrow there. That's the issue. That was getting copied. So it's like they had like Santa's bag of fuel on their ship. Yes, there we go. Now they're using fuel. But let's see, how can we actually combat that type of bug though? What are types? You could remove copy from these. Resource, that's okay. Oh, look at this. Cannot move out. So this is going to be a borrow. What are we doing here? Oh, this is a unit test. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, they have a pretty big need for fuel. Do they make it all the way to the end of this? They do. They have fuels remaining. Excuse me, ships remaining with no fuel. Hull damage 55. Funny. Okay. That's better. Just for fun, I want to see if that bug comes back. 1, 2. How many zeros are on there? Okay, that's 1 million, 10 million. That is so much faster. Release mode is just so much faster than debug mode. So even though we had a ton of fighters, we had some transport ships that have 0 fuel in them. Let's give them some fuel. Distribution percentage, okay. Fuel need, yay. Supply fuel, still some left over, that's neat. Okay, going back up to the beginning of these stats. Lots of those destroyed. Okay, this is the first round, so this is the offense. No carrier or capital ships destroyed. Had very few of those. Same for the defense. Yeah, shots on basically capital and carrier ships were very, very low. Undestroyed there. And they didn't have any of their supply ships damaged either. That's interesting. And at the end of this first round, they needed fuel. That's good. Still no capital or carrier ships destroyed. Oh, but we did have some fuel ships destroyed. Numbers are thinning out. Attacks are getting more focused. See another 3 million fighters destroyed. Do supply. Let's see. Running out of resupply fuel. Yeah, these capital ships just aren't getting destroyed. Okay, still nothing. 0-0. Shield usage. Shields are way too high. And at this point, this guy was out of fuel. 0 of them were destroyed. Energy waste 0. They had no targets. They're out of fuel. Interesting. Okay. 20 seconds for that. That's not bad. I think if we also bump up the number of these heavy hitters, back up to 30,000 kind of carriers, see more destruction. I want to see the capital ship getting destroyed and a carrier getting destroyed. Let's drop that. Anything? Destroyed 0-0. They just ran out of fuel. Interesting. All right, well, that can be balanced. I think it's really that their shields are absorbing so much energy. And in my scenario here, we can't. Oh, this one, cruiser, can't get enough. Can't get enough hits on it. Either that or the bigger ships aren't taking enough hits or shots. Anyhow, so what I wanted to play around with after that, let's see, we fixed a bug in there, get status. Source. Let's take a look, get diff. Cached, okay. That's good. Got the prefetch comment out. Not doing those anymore. Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to clean up that reminded me. In stats, I had a bunch of these here at the end, the little slash at the end. I want to clean those up. Those I was using for implementing the stats, just to keep track of which ones were done. Okay. Oh, it wasn't tracking fuel usage. Xbug using chip fuel. Okay. Okay, so next, I'm thinking of playing around with brackets. Had some really neat stuff. Wow, they got all sorts of stuff in here. So when we look at bracket lib, bracket used to be roguelike toolkit stuff, but they have some really neat examples in here. And I wanted to take a closer look at that. Good look here in there. Bracketproductions.com Rustbook. Towards the end, I think they had some examples. Now, what did it say? It said WSGL2 is required. I wanted to see what. Oh, don't go full screen. I didn't want full screen. There we go. I wanted to know how much download this actually took to do, because you can do this whole thing in there. We got network. We're gonna hit reload on there. Hopefully we have cache. But it should tell me how much it pulled from cache. see, 4 megs total for this whole thing. The WASM file's 4 megs. Content type, content length. This is probably compressed. Is it not compressed? Why is this not compressed? Accept encoding, good. We said we wanted compressed stuff, or we could take compressed stuff. I don't see content encoding on the top, on the response headers, so that wasn't compressed? What's the compression ratio on something like this? Let's download that. Let's download that. Alright, I do web dev stuff by day, so I gonna take a look at this. So yeah, it's 4 megs. Otherwise it's 1, so it's got a pretty good compression ratio. So what I'm looking at here is that I really like this kind of style in the browser. I think it'd be really cool to be able to go to like a little website and load up the UI like this, where you go around, you do stuff, you see little elements in there. Does this resize? It doesn't. I also like the idea of having, oh, run from the monsters. Oh, those are people. We're in a city. Got it. People on the dock. It's neat. Anyhow, wonder what the smallest sort of WASM WebGL UI is. See, it requires WebGL 2. Can I use WebGL 2? Oh no, IE doesn't support it. Oh, we knew that. Say quite a few things support WebGL 2. Because most of them are either WebKit based, they don't support it, they're Chrome based. And Firefox, of course, but actually my window's not the right shape anymore after that. Let's set it back to 720p. There we go. Okay, so that's neat that it has WebGL in it. What is something like this actually using? Going back, let's go look at brackets. Brackets, what are you using? You are dependent on bracket terminal. What is bracket term? Virtual ASCII, code page 437 terminal. Oh, it's gotten to the point where you're surprised when IE supports something. Yeah, well, we only have a couple more years of IE because they're going to end of life it as soon as Was it Windows 10 goes end of life? I think it was is it Windows 10? And that's in 2025? Actually, I don't remember. Maybe it's not Windows 10. It's the other one. And just a few years out. Man, I remember when IE was awesome. When Firefox came along, and Firefox was awesome, and then there's Chrome, and Chrome was awesome, and then there was Opera. Actually, I remember when there was KHTML. Anybody else remember KHTML? KHTML is what grew into Safari. WebKit, actually WebKit. This looks interesting. Frees you up from implementation difficulty, making it easier to write grid-based games. But if that's your only target, you may be better off using cross-term. Interesting. Hey, Goose. Stop. And I guess depending on how the game should be played, it could be different things. There's also the option. Basically, I'm toying around with the idea of what the front end of the game system could look like. Not should, but could. One of the options would be that sort of terminal in the browser. The other, we just connect directly to something, go like really, really old school, like terminal over WebSocket. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, Windows 10 EOL is the IE. I mean, I'm not going to celebrate like Windows 10 going end of life. I could care less. But IE going end of life, that would be life changing for me. Because this whole like web devs are doing this support matrix where it's like current version -2. Unless you're IE, then we only support the last version of IE. Even that supporting the last version of IE is just a pain in the butt. I'm hoping that something security-wise takes it up before then. I mean, sadly, but because the way we got rid of IE10 was we ended up supporting IE10 even after Microsoft had end of lifed it. I had to make the big argument that we're encouraging people to be unsafe. That finally worked. We're putting our customers at risk by encouraging them to use IE10. 10 rounds. Do 6. 5 rounds. Goose, I like that Primogen Rust icon. That is so funny. He shaved the other day and looked so much younger. Incredibly, incredibly young. I honestly thought like somebody else was on his stream broadcasting. Okay, my watch is charged, so I'm gonna put that back on. Here we go. Oh, you didn't know I was on SourceSide? Oh, yeah. In fact, one of the other see, I'm kind of to the point where where I either need to start building out some sort of web thing and to have some way for people to get into and be able to run battles and battle sims and whatnot. But I think I'm at a little holding point there. Oh, you want to self-host a Git forge? Oh, that's cool. How many of these are we? Oh, yes, we did the update. And let's go to cd source. Hal. Oh, Hal. So Hal is my source hut build bot. I want Hal to do some more stuff for me. So if we go back to the browser and we go to source hut, I think I'm actually logged into source hut. Oh, what was that? From the blog, April 20th. My wedding anniversary, April 20th. GitLab has a value of $3 billion. Together, the two companies have over 2,000 employees. SourceHut made $4,000 in Q1 with 2 employees and an intern. How do we deliver on this level of reliability and performance compared to these giants? Forge Perf is a good start for pushing our identity on a serious attack on the eternal problems with high performance and reliability once more. What is Forge Perf? I have not heard of this before. Software Forge Performance Index. Oh, interesting. Wait. Very interesting. Nice. Interesting on the accessibility. Is that performance and accessibility? Probably not talking, what is it, the 805 disability compliance stuff, is he? Oh, yep, this is my stuff on Git on SourceHut. I know not all of my stuff is actually visible to everybody. I've got some private project on here like Legacy, which you've seen me code up before, and Genesis, which is what we've been doing this morning. Those are private, but I do have a public one, which is my SourceHut build bot. I've had my kids actually working on this. So one thing that I'm curious about here, I had created a bug, which was where service documentation, getting helps in here. Ah, bug reports. Okay, so build, I had a bug report in here. It was closed. Oh, signed HTTP request sent to webhooks. Oh, interesting. This did not get closed. I see. I have a Golang webhook signing code in get.source.hut now. It would be a fairly simple manner to port this over to builds. So we could try writing this patch. I've never done any Golang work. I mean, quite frankly, I'd be more comfortable writing that in Rust. So they're saying that they have it in get.source.hut right now. I don't think I have that checked out. Don't I have source hut in here? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I need to check out get.source.hut. Do that. Clone repo to your account. You can also use your local clone if you send email. Just what I was using. What is their workflow like? If I make a change, push that, do they have like a pull request flow? I'll have to play around with that later. Let's just check this out locally. So we could do some source signing for their stuff. It'd be nice to have, really would. So I don't really want to do polling in Hell. I think that would be kind of gross. Although I could limit it to the build time. Oh, they have installation instructions. So they have the web service, this one, and then, interesting, I think their documentation's wrong. Because they're saying that they have this thing somewhere. Let's look at this. I wonder what they're using for deciding what goes to Go and what goes to Python, because I know they had been serving some stuff in Python. They have this webhooks here, but this is not for signing the requests that are going out. This is for the wait, what is this for? Source hot webhooks. Initialize the database. Okay. Make worker. Get to source hot webhooks. Ah, this is for the Git side of things. So when you push to their Git stuff, this isn't after the oh, that is what I'm looking for. Interesting. I don't know how that actually maps to the other thing. I think I'm a little bit out of my league on this one. If we look at this, okay, hook, they have in hook here. Import, log, OS, etc. Post update in stage 3, unknown get hook. They're opening a log file. Sadly, no. I'm not going to be doing this. Let's not do that. Let's go back. Back to Hal. Oh, Hal. When he does different tasks, and he starts a task. Okay, we're in build here. I'm looking for what actually causes the build to go do something. That would be using request. It's an AI. That's right. Here we go. Run test. So this kicks it off, actually sends it, but then doesn't really do anything after that. When the test is finished, we don't return anything. We could wait via polling for that test to resolve and then return the test information here. One way of doing it. Another way would be to kick off some poller somewhere else. Because eventually, I think they'll get a webhook there. I'm just out of my element. I'd like to be able to help that thing, but I don't know Go well enough. Hardly know Go. So we could just do polling here for now. What else could we do? See, if we go back to main, remove all webhooks, server join. This is our web server. And the web server is supposed to kick off elements in HAL. It's supposed to tell it to, hey, go do stuff. And it does when it receives a webhook, but if it doesn't have a webhook, we'll have to create some sort of poller. Let's do that. So my chat thing disappeared. There we go. What do we call the poller? Build watcher. I think this is the only place we're going to need this. It's going to take a HAL and basically simulate as if we had received that webhook back. Well, it's either that or, sorry, because we do get the web handler back. The thing that we don't get back is it's not signed. So we could just have a separate path for elements that are not signed. So if it doesn't have these two headers, do something else. I like that one the best. Let's see, how do we chain these things? I want to create one more element. So this is the webhook. I also want one basically chained a different way if we could have a different path. That would probably be the easiest. Let's see what's going to be different here. We're just deleting two things out of this. Build hook. Build hook notify. Look for the config, all that stuff, sure, but we don't validate the signature. Okay, now, yep. Oh, no build hook notify, of course. Now, at this point, what are we going to do when we get this build hook notify? Genesis test. Where do we tell it? So this is our build, what we want it to do. And when we go through and tell it to actually build something, is it an AI that we built out of? I think so. So here we modify the test. Build API URL. Load test manifest. Here we go. That loads the build manifest, but it doesn't set up the webhook. And typically what we want is we want this. And we want the tasks to be added to it, to the manifest itself. Oh, yeah, alter manifest and add webhook to the triggers. Oh, that's right. I was doing that in their web interface, wasn't I? That's right. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this fix me. Manifest.tasks. Let's see, what's a vector, hash map, string to string. Okay. I see, so we can actually construct a webhook element first and then put it on there. That doesn't seem like it's the right structure. Tasks here, hash map of string to string. No, that's not right. Good, it's YAML. And then the manifest here, so we have to look at the build manifest. Are they there down a little bit lower? No? Oh, that's right. I did do one over here. What was the manifest? Triggers. Here we go. This is what I wanted to set up. It does look like it's kind of hash map key, all strings, webhook, always, and where to send it. So that might work. Let's go back. Action and webhook. Condition URL. And this is going to be generated. Ask a project to build API URL. We're going to need this one. We need our project build hook. Build hook notify. Who's calling this one? Base URL. Oh, I see. Does HAL not get the args? Does it not know what the base URL is? That seems weird. Seems like HAL should know what that is. It's just going to be args base URL. There we go. Now we have a base URL. take it off there. Let's fix that API. I don't think we should be taking it like that. Should be a and stir. And then here where we go to use this or save it. We'll call toOwned on it. Okay. So we're still in hell. We still have self.base URL, but where do we get the URLs actually from? From the project, right? Where's the build hook? Project build hook URL. There we go. Mismatched types. Oh, because the other ones. There we go. Should do that. Oh, we want that. Task.insert. Task is a vector. Should be doing like push or something. Oh, fine. Yeah, let's go change the type there. Nope. Vim fingers are failing me today. Don't know why. A little cold. Not too bad though. Should pour some tea. All right, that's good. Then we'll get the build hook. It'll kick off. It'll send us a message back. Let's see. We don't have everything set up yet. Yeah, build hook notify doesn't exist. We have webhook notify here, which goes through and does some stuff. Now, build hook notify. What is that going to do? So it should give us information on the. Did I click something? It should give us some information on how the results of the build went, and then we can use that to mark a PR as approved or whatever. Let's build it, notify. And config data delivery events HAL. Fine. Result is a string. Why is result a string? Oh, that's the response back. Sure. Okay. No, it's saying that. Let's see. Which one is missing? We should have HAL in both cases. Event and delivery. Those are there. The data, though, that's probably missing. And the config. Config is here. The bytes. Because I pulled too much out of there. Base URL. So what is this, mainline 36? Okay. That's fine. Good. Hopefully it gives us some parameters that we need to provide to it. I'm going to get the other browser set up. All right. Let's see, this is 425, testing at 0808 at HAL test. Oh, missing project. Run -- project. Genesis. Oh. Let's see, what was that? I think it's this. IP. Oh, what IP do we want to bind to? Let's change that. Args. You know what? If I had just looked at the help, it would have worked. Anyhow, okay. I'm going to send a message and hopefully get this kicked off. If we go over browser for a moment, let's go back one, builds, and nothing there yet. Oh, because we should see the message come in first. We should see in the lists that message show up. Ah, there it is, at hell test. It's good. I didn't get notified though. I wonder if the double slash is throwing it off there. Hmm. Try it without the double. Okay, I sent the email. Hmm. Let me double check a couple things. 'Cause I want to make sure that all my firewall stuff is fine. That's good. Yeah, that seems okay. Hmm. We're not getting messages. I wonder if we're sending them the right thing. What should we send them? So when we started up, all we said was, let me know when you receive a post to this mailing list. When you do, notify this. Okay. And right now, we go to this. Oh, I'm not able to connect. Why not? For subscribing, but there is no server set up. Oh, that, and I forgot to actually bind these two things together. Server legacy forge. Izian. You know, I just haven't bothered to upgrade that thing yet. Default interactive shell is now easy. Yep. Happy Saturday. I have two build hooks. I basically want to do with that webhook or this webhook. I'm going to remember how to put these back together. Routes. You're not using a shell from 2007 is a good thing. Probably. Well, that and like they want you to upgrade to Zeesh, but then they're also moving to fish anyways. The two shell switch thing. Look at the shell game. Oh, come on. Rust analyzer locked up my browser. API function. Huh. Okay. There we go. But why isn't this thing starting up? Oh, because the port is probably wrong. Why isn't it okay with that? Yeah, this looks like it worked before. Oh, Route 2. Okay, yeah. Binding to zeros. It's actually the port isn't set. Excuse me, the port is specific. Oh, wow, I changed that too. So this here, we coded this in the browser, or at least localhost on that. Method not allowed. Okay. I wonder what I missed that time. See, now it's actually firing up just fine. I don't know what happened. We have the project. Oh, I forgot the port. Seriously? But is the port not required? Oh, it's not. Okay, so it was starting up with a random port. Oh, wait, it can have defaults. Oh, that's cool. I did have to build up a little element here for being able to take an IP address and convert it from string to IP adder. Yeah, I'm going to fire off that. Fire off the request again. Custom parsing functions. Oh, that's cool. I didn't look into it that deep. So this is 0425. Staying 0821. Okay, so I fired off the email. Gonna hit the mailing list. Oh, there we go. Fired off the webhook. Oh. Okay, here's our stuff. Got the message. Yeah, I had a bunch of white space in it. Found a test thing. Okay. Couldn't do that, Dave. Oh, hell. Could not submit build for test. Okay. I wonder if that's actually going to show up in their build setup. Will it show that? No, it's not even in there. Could not submit that build. Build for test. Okay, I'm guessing it's a serialization of that hash map. This one here. This little bit here is new. If we look, That's supposed to be like this. Now, how do we read this? Is this these elements here, are these a hash map of key value pairs for this? I need something that serializes to YAML like that. You know what, let's go to, so we need this. It's a list. Hash is a list. Okay, so here tasks itself, this element here is being pushed into. So I have a hash map being pushed into a list. Hmm. I guess here, let's just serialize this out. Goodness, I went too far into this without some testing. So we have a hash map. I wonder if the action has to come first in this. Yeah, I want to try this over here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to push into that. Trigger and tragger. Goodness. Oh, you beat me to it. Yeah, that's not quite right, is it? And I think this is more along the lines of what they're expecting, but I think if we put the action at the wrong end, at the wrong place here, I don't like that. Oh, I see them. Struct with a map. This is a list. I think I need to have an ordered map because action has to be first. So if we go back to here, it works if action is first in this case. Let's go back. We'll edit and resubmit. If we swap these, I don't know, but I'm wondering if the implementation of their stuff is order sensitive. We do that and submit. Hmm. No, it seems okay. So I didn't even get that far. I got rejected and it was telling me that I couldn't do it. So there's something else wrong. Condition always. Did I give it a good URL? For the list to show the syntax difference. Oh, thank you. Copy link address. Oh, I see. And this just has hyphens. It has more hyphens. Got it. Wait, I'm sorry if I left you in the browser before I added the print line here, so we just see what we're submitting to them. Run that. Okay, that's 0833. Set up and running, good. Send that. There we go. Oh, tasks. It's supposed to be triggers. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. So just so you can see. Uh-huh. So here, this should not be under tasks. It should be under triggers. Build hook. Oh, I see that one's a build trigger. No. String. Rid of that. File logging. Oh, multi-logger, multi-logger. Did you need that? Out of curiosity, or are you just making it a little bit more full-fledged? That's cool. So I tried doing some SIMD stuff. I don't know if you saw. And Rust produces faster SIMD code than, or faster code than I can do with SIMD. One thing that did help though was telling them to prefetch certain memory addresses. But I still use that. That cut like 10 seconds off of large space battles. Yeah, like 200 million. So I was doing calculations on very large arrays, and Rust just outperformed it. I don't know if they do SIMD automatically. They'll do that. All right, do this again. You have to pass. Mark. Really? Oh, that might be cool then. So I could get a little bump by adding that. Let's do that here in just a moment. Okay, so now we sent this trigger. Good. Okay. Looks like that works so far. The browser. It has to be in your Rust flags. I see. Yeah, and different platforms have different vectored instructions, and if they stamped it out for all of them and chose at runtime, then it would just be messy. Neon, yeah. AVX 512. All right, I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so that's going. This last one, 5 minutes ago, I don't know how long that one took. Look in and see. 2 minutes. It took 2 minutes to run. It's not bad. Vector instructions aren't always faster. Yeah, I think it is a catch-all for your current architecture. I see. So while we're waiting on that, let's go back here. So here we go. We have our 10 million ships against 10 million other ships. Now, where would we put that in here? Um, can you put Rust flags in your cargo.toml file? I'd definitely like to try this to see. Oh, they go in the cargo config. Okay. And if you're in a workspace, is it at the workspace level? $sign, %. There we go. Okay, so in here, we have reverse up and look at, okay. So do I still have that? That's a TOML file, which is equals, and then that, okay. Oh, look, webhook delivery got rejected. Oh, AI. Where's my webhooks? I have one too many elements in there. Oh, let's see, webhook delivery, probably webhook event is gone too. Fine. And that still goes in Rust flags. That didn't change it. I would have expected that to do something. It's saved, yes. Rust flags. See, target CPU, native. So maybe they both work because the output would be the same. It didn't actually change anything. Oh, for Rust flags? Oh, I see. Oh, and it's an array. I like the spaces too. Still nothing. A parent one might override it. Interesting. Different note, it seems faster. That's 10 million on 10 million, right? Let's do it without. That's not picking up. Okay, let's do that then. Yeah, there we go. That's a full thing. This gives me a full build. A hash or C hash instead of sip hash 40. For the hash maps, I'm using FLV, FVL, FNV. Yeah, that one. A hash, C hash are generally faster than FNV. Oh, interesting. All right, let's go find the other elements then. So yeah, I think that one actually finished here, that little bit there. See this. Okay, so FNV, this one here. I have a hard time finding things again after the fact, so I'm going to follow those. A hash, non-cryptographic hashing. In-memory hash maps. Hmm, that's cool. A hash, and what was the other one? And the compiler uses a lot of hash maps. Oh, that's great. This is just a query system for a hash map implementation. Because it also has FNV in it, right? At least that's what the FNV site says. So for my implementation here, I have maybe a hash map that takes U8s as the key and points to different configs. What would you suggest? C hash? A hash? I want to. Swap collection hash map. A hash brown hash map. I see. Enable the right features. Gotcha. Okay, let's try that. Two compiles can have different hash functions. Why Rusty doesn't use it? Oh, interesting. That was really fast. So that's 22 seconds, just as is. Yeah. Run it again. Usually the second time's faster because it's space and memory. Oh, browser, no. Okay, just running it. This is my space battle simulation. So 21 seconds, and that's with target CPU native. If we go back and take that off of there, I also upgraded to the latest compiler last night. Where do you think that native flag should go? This stuff here. Let's see. I guess the other place I could put it is in here. Just in the package. I don't know. It needs to go in the other. Can't go in there. I thought. Right, there we go. We'll just run that. Previous it was what, 22 seconds? Oh, maybe the local ones can't be configured at TOML. Huh. You know, it's 17 seconds? What? That doesn't seem right. Hyperfine? What's hyperfine? hyper fine. Statistically command line benchmarking. Oh, nice. Well, for CLI tools. Ooh. Cargo. Oh, I see. That does seem neat. Huh. Let's config. Let's go to look for Rust flags. Using build at Rust flags is now awkward. Is awkward right now. Huh. Funny. Oh, can you do warm-ups and stuff? Haha, nice. So it looks like they want the dash C separate and in a build section. Doesn't have to be separate? So what about the build section then? Oh, configure the tumble instead of the old config. Yeah, look at that. That actually took it that time. Okay, cool. So that seems to have taken. I'll bet that can be back in the workspace one. Oh, and the browser. No. Ah, coffee time. I need my coffee. All right, so that's gonna build. Give this another run. I gotta go deal with trees and stuff today. Okay, that's good. Interesting though, it might not be actually faster. 24 seconds there. All right, let's try the hyperfine thing. And I thought I was getting a faster run without either of those. It would be nice if they had. I don't know. It might not be nice. It'd chew up a lot of disk space, wouldn't it? It was saving these per. Vaccine. So those there are the stat stuff. The other types are. Where's it? So you have a battle config. Okay, that's not it. Where is it? This is the Armada. Here's the Armada. So in this case, you're going to end up with 20 million offense things here. In this case, the ship offense is going to be ship resource, which is simply a U8. So it's basically a structure that has two elements in it. And I don't know if that's going to make it not available to be in that. Oh, by having different target directories. So that one has the other timing in it. Yeah, it's currently faster without. Wow. Oh, yeah, very annoying and confusing next time. That makes sense. Let's try hyperfine before I sign off. Let's hyperfine do command. Let's bring down the battle numbers. Now, is this going to want the actual binary here? Oh, with it printing stuff out? Well, that can be turned off. Yeah, it's just logging actually. If I disable logging, it should be okay. That's just a log item, info. Sorry. Missing config dash dash config. Going to be battle 01. Okay. If we do, oh, that's too fast. There we go. That's better. Okay. Oh, nice. 10 runs, min max, user. That's not bad at all. So, a million ships against a million ships over 5 rounds. That's really neat. Thank you. And it was pretty consistent. Oh, I see the delta. That's pretty good. Actually surprised. So I added more ships and it got faster. Here the time range is 1.2. That. Show output, help version shell. I see. So if then I also had true here, gonna compare that versus true and tell me which one's faster. Oh, nice. Mark 2. True ran a little bit faster. Oh, that's great. Oh, this is cool. Actually, if I write this to battle 2, yes, I know it exists. We edit battle 2, we'll give it fewer ships. Just a little. So in this case, we can just take this, change the config file. Maybe have like a warm up dash W1. That's pretty neat. And this is still surprising me because I have fewer ships in battle 2. Instead of 3,000 here, we had 300. Oh, you know what? It's probably because they're killing off more stuff. No, it's more stuff that stays around. Let's see. So those are big ships. Hmm. Interesting. I'll have to think through that. Well, thank you. That's a pretty cool tool. Oh, the hash map stuff. Oh my goodness, almost forgot. Uh, hash map. So now, were you saying that hash brown is a separate crate? It looks like a separate crate. Okay. Drop in replacement. Uses a hash for the default hasher, but is much faster than SIP, which is okay. Oh, I see. It uses it with its hash maps. Also has a hash enabled by default. Okay. Let's do that. Cargo add hash brown. Singular, right? Let's drop that one. Battle test. Hold. Okay. Now I'm using default for most of these. Is default going to be fast enough, or do we need to configure it? Okay, default's fine. Oh, hash brown doesn't do serialize. I need to enable that. Verde. Okay. All right. Now, what was the last? What did we compile that last one? Looks like it was just. Okay, we'll do this. Build release. Copy it over here. The last one. Let's rename it to the FNV. FV. Oh my goodness, I forgot what it was already. FNV. Okay, FNV. That'll test, and this is hash brown. Okay. Use the same config on both. I'll test hash brown. A hash, okay. Oh, I see. It uses it. They provide their own hasher for that. Got it. Oh, let me make sure that. Do I need the full path in there, the dot slash? There we go. So the same config, both of them. Only difference is the different hashers. That and I'm using different. So the runs are going to be slightly different because of the randomness. Oh my goodness, look at that. Even faster there. That's a good percentage. Wow. And more runs, obviously. Yeah. Because that's dash n, do like 20. Oh. Mobbins boy, how's it going? Dash R. What's up with the stop? What do you mean? Oh, you're just kidding. Oops, we need a space there. Without the help at the end. There we go. Happy Saturday, Mobbins boy. That's interesting. This is a neat tool. I even like the kind of attention to detail with the little dots over there on the left. Neat. It's not DDoS resistant. I see. Now, this binary here is likely to be run and will calculate benchmarks. So it'll take some input, be run, save the results to disk, and whatever's actually running these battle sims will be web facing. So this isn't going to be web facing directly. It'll be behind a bunch of other stuff. Wow, yeah. That's a decent speed up. ICSC patch 40 will make it amortized and constant. That's a neat setup there. And that's just from that. Can't overload the bucket resolution stuff. I see. I guess the bucket frequency. Oh, sure. Oh, I understand. So let's see. While you're here, I can ask you a couple more questions. That's really good to have that sort of speed up. That's what, 10% at least? So typically what happens when we run a battle, for n number of rounds, we go through and we just have these spaceships beat on each other. Okay. In order to do this, now some of this is a little bit left over from the SIMD stuff. So like in this case where I'm providing it with an array of zeros, I would probably not be passing that in anymore. This is kind of carryover. But basically what happens is you have all these offenses and defenses, and they take random shots at each other. And basically, it all happens all at once. But for fast maps, A hash is nice. It does seem really cool. Very fast. So when we get an attack coming in some of my earlier tests, I was doing like 200 million versus 200 million ships. And actually, this also speeds it up quite a bit, doing a prefetch on the random location that will be in this other in an array. Doing the prefetch on this does make a big difference. But basically, what happens is you end up with all the offenses here, some stats, and all you're going to do is generate random random numbers which represent ships that will be absorbing this energy that you're producing. So we're collecting all of that energy into an array, and then later applying that energy against the targets. Small RNG isn't that fast. Huh. Yeah. You use LCG, but it's not that random. I just need random enough. What's LCG? Yeah, I just need random enough. Because if eventually there's just going to be linear congruent primes and bit shifting. Oh, interesting. Hmm. But you're sure there's optimized crate for it? Okay. Now let's take a gander. Ah, that might be my call. Do not use for anything other than learning. Oh, is it gone? I see. So people just do one-offs. That makes sense. One PRNG, which is earlier permutated. Oh, that's very cool. PCG is fine as well. I see. I have a hard time saying the congruential. Congruential. It's congruent, right? Congruential. I don't know. That's just tough.
You have reached the voicemail box of Kino.
Like if you use it for crypto, you'll get what you deserve. Oh, that's funny. Oh, this is neat. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, mathy words. One of my favorite videos on YouTube was this person uh, doing sciencey stuff, right? Like in the backyard, and trying to teach about science. And then they say, and then science reverses itself, and then they undo the reaction. Like, wait, no, how? Stop! You can't say that. Science doesn't reverse itself. Kind of fun to implement. Okay, cool. That seems cool. Okay. Well, thank you, Museum. I will take a look at this. Let's see, where's my bookmark? That one. I'll give it a try.
If you need further assistance, enter pound now.
It look esoteric, but it's not.
Please leave your name, number, and a message after.
And profile. Got it. Yeah. Well, thank you. See. I think Gamozo is doing Rust stuff. I don't know though.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it looks like it. Crocs and the flame graph stuff. CROX. C bindings to Crocs. Crocs here, huh? C bindings for rock. I don't think this is what you mean, is it? I looked at the flame graph stuff. Oh, it uses the Chrome profiler to. Oh, nice. Okay, let me grab that URL. My machines are not behaving well today. Something's going on my network. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, nice. I was using FlameGraph just the other day.